Hello, friends, and welcome to the Tone 25 here on YouTube.com. It is ridiculously over Anthony Floyd here with you tonight as we are previewing the WWE Money in the Bank 2014 pay-per-view. Of course, Money in the Bank will be live tomorrow night from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. We have 7 matches on the card. I am joined by my partner in crime, my two dudes with attitudes tag team partner, Michael Fletcher, the Cerebral Viper. He's joining us here tonight. Of course, Derek Ferreira already did his preview video. Yep, Michael Fletcher, Derek Ferreira did his preview video earlier this week. Our other colleague, Michael Bullock, will not be joining us because he's on a family vacation. So we wish him well with that. So here's how it's going to go down the next couple of nights. Tonight I'm running the show, and then tomorrow night Fletcher will run the show because he as is customary with the Wrestling Forum, he does the pay-per-view. He hosts the pay-per-view recap editions of our show, and we'll have that for you tomorrow night. Mikey's channel, Brady's Fan 95. So around 11 o'clock or so, just to give us a little chance to, catch our breath in the pay-per-view because it's going to be an awesome one, I think. So that's it, let's get right into it. Of course, on the pre-show, of course, Daniel Bryan is going to be on that. Daniel Bryan, of course, he's going to address being stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship by the Authority some time ago. And we at the Wrestling Forum feel that the reason why he's going to be on this is because we think he's going to announce that he's been medically cleared and he's going to be coming back and he'll be ready to probably fight at the Battleground pay-per-view next month in Tampa, Florida. We don't know the full details, but our thinking is he's going to be coming back to announce that he's medically cleared and that he should get an immediate rematch. And who knows? Maybe he could challenge the winner of the championship ladder match at the Battleground pay-per-view. So that's all we can really speculate on as far as that is concerned. So with that said, and I know Fletcher agrees with me on that, so we don't really need to get into any more details about that, even though I'm looking forward to it. So with that said, let's get into the main card here. We're gonna do it from bottom to top, as they say. So we'll save 3 big matches for last. So let's get to the undercard fights. So first up, we're going to talk about Big E versus Rusev, and of course, where Rusev goes, the 5-star beauty Lana will be there as well. So, yeah, they had an okay match at the Payback pay-per-view last month. I'm not really sure if this is going to be anything better. It could be, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But it doesn't matter if it's a good fight or if it's a dud fight. But I got to go with the big man Rusev here. They're billing him to be the next big megastar in WWE, and let's face it, he's going to get a push, I think. And I think by the end of the year or sometime next year, I can see him holding some form of championship gold. That's all I can say about that. So I'm going with the big man Rusev in this one. So with that said, Fletch, who you got?
Yeah, and I want to apologize already. If you hear a little thing in the background, like this big buzzing sound, this is actually my portable air conditioner going on right now. So I'm just giving you the heads up about that. What's up, everybody? It's Mike Fletcher. I agree. I think Rusev will win the match. I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be one of those mini, quick Michael Fletcher or wrestling form be a man fight, as Derek Ferreira likes to talk about. And I think it will get the be a man stamp of approval, definitely in that match. And I believe that Rusev will win it. I think Rusev is going to have a big push right now. And I know a lot of people were talking about maybe a Rusev versus John Cena sometime down the line at SummerSlam. So, get him over, once again, over another American talent like Biggie Langston. And then we go from there. So I do believe it's not going to be one of the best fights of the night. I'll even call it maybe the worst fight of the night, technically. And with that, we're just going to move on. But I do believe Rusev will walk away victorious. So, Anthony, I give it to you.
Alrighty. So with that said, let's move on to our next match on the card. It's the first of 2 Divas matches on the card, and this is a very interesting one. It's going to be Summer Rae going up against Layla. Special guest referee, the dancing fool himself, Fandango. So Fletch, who you got and what?
This one is actually, out of the 2 Diva fights, this is the one I'm not looking forward to. I'm sorry. I think the storyline itself is at the point to go away. I kind of feel like this could be, I don't know. There's so many ways this fight can go. especially with Fandango being such the X factor in the match. I don't know how this is going to play out. I know he's going to have at least some involvement in the match, possibly, but I don't know who he's going to benefit. You know, some people are saying, well, I think he's going to break the heart of Layla and side with Summer Rae, and that will continue, and that they'll get the 1, 2, 3 victory there. But I've heard some people saying, well, I think that Fandango will screw over Summer Rae and give Layla the victory. I don't know. This one, out of all the plays, this is kind of the most complicated decision that's going to be made out of this entire pay per view. There's no clear cut favorite, so I don't know who's going to win it. If you had to put, if I had to, if I'm put on the spot right now, I gotta say Summer Rae is gonna win it. As much as I love Layla, and Anthony, you know my love affair with that British beauty from Miami, Florida, but something tells me that Fandango's gonna side with Summer, and Summer's going over it with this match. So I don't know. I'm just gonna go on a whim here, and I say Summer Rae wins it. So back to you.
Yeah. Of course, the way you feel about Layla is the way I feel about Summer Rae, to be honest. And you guys know that for the last how long she's been there. But yeah, I do agree. First of the when it comes to the two diva fights, this is probably going to be the clunker of the two. I mean, the other one's going to be a hell of a lot better. Let's not kid ourselves. Um, we'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, you think Rusev and Big E could be the worst fight of the night? I gotta disagree. I think this is going to be the worst fight of the night. If I'm being quite honest with you. I mean, even though Layla is a skilled worker, I mean, she's okay. I mean, she's not the greatest, but she is okay. She's a solid worker at best. Summer, I mean, she's a work in progress. I mean, she's got a little green in her, as we all know, and much as I love her, I have to be honest with that. But I don't know. I mean, I got this feeling about Layla for some odd reason. I don't know why. I mean, seeing that Layla is the more experienced diva, I mean, it would be a great win for Summer. I mean, Summer could use the win a hell of a lot more. I mean, it would definitely boost her stock in the diva division, which is unfortunately a crapper division right now. But at the end, I'm gonna go with my gut here. I'm actually gonna go with your girl Layla to win this one. I think Fandango's gonna screw over Summer and help Layla win. That's just how I feel. So we'll have to wait and see on that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That's all I can say. So I'm going to go with the beautiful Brit from Miami, Florida in this one. So enough said on that. Let's just move on to our next match. It is a tag team encounter. It's going to be Rybaxel going up against Goldust and Stardust. Um, yeah, this will probably be an okay TV quality match at best. I mean, here's another match I'm not really looking forward to be honest. I mean, the Rybaxel character, I mean, yeah, they've been getting better. They put together a few victories over the last few months, and they're getting better. But I still don't buy them as a viable tag team threat to possibly one day be tag champs. I really don't, unless they prove me wrong. I just don't see it happening. As far as Goldust and Stardust goes, of course, we all know Stardust is Cody Rhodes. Everybody knows that, and honestly, I don't like the gimmick, to be honest with you. I think it's a little campy, if I'm being honest, a little campy comedy nonsense. But and I feel so bad because here's a guy, Cody Rhodes, who's been with WWE almost 7 years now, and I've watched I've watched his matches. You know, we've watched his matches since he debuted, and he's a good worker. He really is. He's a great young talent, but unfortunately, he just can't, get that break. I mean, yeah, a couple of years ago he had the Intercontinental title, and he had a very good run with it. He held it for several months before he lost it to the Big Show at WrestleMania 28. Then he briefly won it back and then lost it again. So, yeah, Christian a couple months later, but still, I mean, here's a guy. I mean, you remember the Rhodes brothers when they came in, when they had that match at Battleground last year against Rollins and Reigns. I mean, definitely a match of the year candidate. I mean, it was an unbelievable match. It was the saving grace of that god awful Battleground 52 from last October. Good Lord, was that awful. But that match was the saving grace. Let's not kid ourselves. Without that match, you're looking at maybe the worst pay-per-view of all time, in all honesty. But still, and then the Rhodes Brothers were tag champs, and then they lost them at the Rumble to the Outlaws, and they haven't done much since. But you know, maybe the Stardust thing could be a rejuvenation for Cody, even though I don't like it, to be honest with you. However, I'm going to go with Goldust and Stardust to win this match, and that's really all there is to it. So, with that said, Fletcher, you got it.
You know what? I gotta agree. I think Goldust and Stardust is going to win the match. I'm kind of not looking forward to this match either. I kind of feel like, with this fight here, I understand why they're going to hype the match and, why Baxel had an opportunity not too long ago. Cody Rhodes is kind of, starting to rejuvenate himself and, get this nice little twist. And it seems like it's working. They've gotten a couple of victories already under their belts, and now they're back on pay per view again. So I don't know. Sky's the limit, as they normally say, and I think they'll come away with this victory. So I gotta go with Goldust and Stardust to win it. Anthony, it's yours.
All right, let's move on to our next match on our preview here, and it is the second of the two Divas matches. This one for the WWE Divas Championship. It's going to be Derek Ferrera's favorite girl, the beauty from Norwich, England, Paige, going up against Naomi. And Fletch, we lead it off with you. We obviously know this is obviously going to be the better of the two Divas fights. So what do you think? Do champ or do we have to accept for the fact?
You know what? I gotta say, in this situation, Derek, I think you're gonna be very happy with this outcome. I think Paige will find a way to win the match. I think she will successfully defend the title. And the thing is that, remember, Cameron's going to be out there, and you know what she's been like for the last few weeks. It looks like she's definitely jealous of the success that Paige has on the Divas division, and now she's been very vocal about her feelings about Naomi. And the thing is that look what happened on Friday night on SmackDown. Look what happened last night. It looked like these two girls, had a mutual respect. All of a sudden, Cameron kind of polluted the situation, and if you saw, tempers began to flare, and now some bad blood is seemingly starting to leak in between these two. And you know what? Sometimes bad blood leads to one hell of a match, and I think we're in the store for what I believe is going to be hopefully, a very good, very quality Divas match. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like Natalia and Charlotte when we saw at NXT, and how great that match turned out, because I thought that match was absolutely amazing. But I think it's going to be, I hope that it'll be at least more than a 1 to 1.5 star fight, is what I'm predicting. And I think we're going to get, as long as it gets enough allowed in time, I think this could be an actual pretty good Divas Championship fight. Um, I think athletically, Naomi is really good. She is definitely one of the few bright spots in the Divas division, and I think a lot of people needs to really know that Paige is an amazing, amazing in-ring performer as well. Um, Unfortunately, she hasn't had that type of success in WWE, because to me, I don't think she's had an opportunity yet to shine. But I do believe that she will get that chance. She will shine, and I believe she will win tomorrow night. So, Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the better of the two Diva fights. There's no question about this. I mean, you got two skilled workers here. I mean, Naomi, we all know how athletically gifted she is. There's no doubt about it. I mean, she's right now. I consider her the best diva not to have the Divas title right now. I mean, because we all know we saw the Total Divas show, her journey to the Divas Championship. I mean, I think she was going to be the one. I think they originally wanted her to be the one to dethrone AJ Lee, maybe at WrestleMania or something. I don't know. And then, of course, you had that freak eye injury at the hands of Oksana, and and that pretty much derailed her plans at that particular moment. And of course, she got her chance at the at WrestleMania as part of that Diva Invitational match, which AJ Lee wound up winning, and then Paige won the title from AJ the next night. She's a champ since. And yeah, as much as honestly, I'd really like to see Naomi win this fight. To be honest with you, because I think she deserves a run with the Divas title, and I think she's more than capable of holding it. But with the situation with Cameron right now, I mean, the Cameron thing. I'll tell you this: Cameron, I think, will be much better off as a heel. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, I even said this to Fletch on many of our private chats on our phones. We talked about this, and I told him this, and they'll back me up like he always does, I'm sure. When I say that there were times on Total Divas where I thought Cameron acted like a heel, and there's no doubt about it. And I know for a fact that if they ever turn Cameron heel, he would benefit greatly. So I think that the heel turn is going to come to fruition tomorrow night, and because of that, I agree. I'm going to go with Paige to successfully defend the Divas Championship in what should be one of the better Diva title matches in quite some time. So, all right, so that takes care of that. So with that said, let's move on to our next, and now we're going to get into the big boys, the three big clashes of the Titans, if you will. Our first Our first up, it's going to be for the WWE Tag Team Championship. It is going to be the Usos defending the titles against the Wyatt family members, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. I'm going to start it off. I mean, this is going to be an amazing match. There's no doubt about this. I mean, it's going to be at the least the third best fight of the night. I think we're looking at 3 to 3.5 stars based on the body of work. I mean, we all remember. I mean, this feud's been going on for quite some time. I mean, y'all remember back at the Payback pay-per-view, they got involved in that epic last man standing match with John Cena and Bray Wyatt, which to me is my match of the year for 2014 so far, because I thought that was a 5-star classic and then some. That was absolutely fantastic. But as far as this fight is concerned, I mean, Usos, they've held the titles for a long time now. They're the longest running champions in the WWE today. I mean, they've held the title since March 3rd when they won it on the Monday Night Raw in Chicago, beating the New Age Outlaws. They've been champions since. I mean, it's been well over 100 days since they've been champs. But I got to be honest here. I think I'm about to make Michael Fletch's 2184 crew member, Old Man McConnell, very happy when I say that I think we are going to have new WWE Tag Team Champions. I'm going with Eric Rowan and Luke Harper to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. But like I said, the Usos, they had a nice run. What can you say? March 3rd. I mean, nearly 4 months. But I think, and as they say, all good things must come to an end. And I think the Usos run ends here. Rowan and Harper win the titles, become your new WWE Tag Team Champions. And who's going to stop those two freaks while they're holding the belts? So, the Fletcher's boy, Bill McConnell, you're going to be a very happy man, my friend, because I think your boys are going to win the tag team titles because he is a huge Wyatt family mark. So, new champions, Rowan and Harper. Fletch, what do you think? Who you got?
You know what? I gotta agree with you. I think we're gonna have new WWE Tag Team Champions. I think the Wyatt family is gonna do it. I think Rowan and Harper are gonna walk out of here with the gold straps around their waist. It's gonna be a very good match, very entertaining match. I mean, their battles have been pretty good up to this point. I just think that they're just a little better, and they're gonna find a way to walk out of here the new WWE Tag Team Champions. I think it's gonna happen. The Wyatts are gonna win the gold. Back to you.
All right. And now to the moment we've all been waiting for, the first of our 2 Money in the Bank ladder matches. This is for the traditional contract. Let's go down the participants. It is going to be, well, as of now, unless something changes, Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger versus Kofi Kingston versus Rob Van Dam and versus Seth Rollins. Now, the winner here gets the Money in the Bank ladder match contract for a guaranteed shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship anytime, any place for the next 12 months. Now, before I go to Michael Fletcher on this, it was announced, of course, as we all know, if you didn't read the SmackDown spoilers or if you didn't notice the news sites or anything, Bad News Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion, suffered a very severe shoulder injury when he took a bump during an attack by Jack Swagger. He took a bump into the barricade, and from what I heard, the shoulder injury is pretty severe, and if that's the case, then there's a very good chance Bad News Barrett may be out of this match. So, but I haven't seen anything on the sites lately indicating that he's going to be out of the match. He's still listed, So those 7 men that I just mentioned, they're going to go for the Money in the Bank contract tomorrow night. So with that said, I just wanted to clear the air on that. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, go for it. Who you got?
Yeah, there was actually a couple of unconfirmed reports saying that Barrett was out. Unfortunately, it's not substantiated as of now. WWE is being very tight-lipped about the availability of Bad News Barrett going into that championship fight. Well, at least for the Money in the Bank contract fight, I should say. So we hope that Barrett is in it, even though I don't think he would win it. Now, as it pertains to the pay-per-view and as it pertains to the fight itself, Seth Rollins is probably the odds-on favorite to win it. He's the guy that I believe will win it, and he will get the Money in the Bank contract. Something just tells me he's the future of the WWE. You know, he's getting a major backing from Triple H and the Authority, and something tells me that he's going to walk out of it the winner. The only other guy that I see legitimately who could say that he could win this is Dean Ambrose. He's the only other guy that I think that could win it. However, I think Seth Rollins will find a way. He'll slip through the back door, and he will walk out of it with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Seth Rollins is the winner in my prediction. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. This is gonna be like I said Monday night on the Wrestling Forum. I think this fight's gonna be a spot fest. There's no question about it. I mean, Flex will be out of work in time because we're gonna be doing the pay-per-view tomorrow night. We're gonna have some fun with it, and because we both have the WWE Network as we all know, as do Derek Ferrera and Michael Bullock. But Derek Ferrera is going to be going to it. He's going to go. He's going to be there live, so he's going to get to see this thing up close and personal. But when it comes to Spot Fest, I'm going to let you in on a little something. Whenever Fletch and I do the private commentary, I think there's going to be at least 5 to 10 instances where Fletch is going to yell out, "Look at this!" Come on, Fletch. You know you're going to yell out, "Look at this!" like 5 to 10 times. Come on now, because that's your specialty when it comes to those type of matches. But nonetheless,
Look at this. Look at this, and oh my God, you're probably hear a few of those as well.
oh yeah, you probably could have a Joey Styles "Oh my God" moment as well. I mean, I remember 4 years ago when Kofi Kingston did that epic bump on Drew McIntyre. You certainly did that. Oh man, but anyways, we're gonna have a lot of fun with this. And Bad News Barry, let me just say it like this. I mean, if he can't go, it's a damn shame because here's a guy who can't catch a break. I mean, a couple years ago, I remember he got hurt. He got banged up very badly on a Fox spot. I believe it was The Miz or R-Truth or somebody who they had a Battle Royal match, and yeah, he ended up being out of it. So, and then and it was Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger was responsible. Remember, Jack Swagger literally almost unofficially cost Dolph Ziggler the World Heavyweight Championship last year. You remember that SmackDown taping? He kicked him so hard that Dolph Ziggler got a concussion, and that's where Dolph Ziggler's been lately. Dolph Ziggler's career's been in the crapper. Although he did get a huge win over Barrett a couple weeks ago on SmackDown, and who could forget that awesome Intercontinental title match against Barrett the other night on Raw? I mean, that was freaking epic. I mean, definitely one of the best Intercontinental matches that the four of us have seen in a long, long time. And we even said that when we did the forum Monday night. But oh man, but let's look at it. Dolph Ziggler, there's a guy who deserves it. I mean, when you look at the field here, you got 3 former winners in this match. You got Dolph Ziggler. He cashed in successfully. You got Jack Swagger. He cashed in successfully. And then, what about RVD? I mean, he's another winner. And he cashed in successfully. All 3 of those men that I just mentioned, Van Dam, Swagger, and Ziggler, not only did they win their Money in the Bank matches, they also cashed in and became champions. So, very interesting to note that. But then you got new blood like, Ambrose, this is his second one. He was in the match last year, as you know. This is the first one for Seth Rollins, as I recall, and Barrett's been in a few, so I'll say it like this. I do agree, Fletch. Seth Rollins, I feel, is the odds-on favorite to win this match, especially if a babyface goes over as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. We get to that in a moment, but it just depends on how this goes. If the heel wins, especially Rollins, you know a babyface is going over in the main event. There's no doubt about it. But if one of the heels wins, I mean, but if one of the baby faces wins, then maybe one of the heels goes over in the title match. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I do agree. The only other guy who has a chance at this is definitely Dean Ambrose. There's no question about it. But at the end of the day, I do agree, Flex. They've rumored Seth Rollins to be a big-time player. He's definitely the future of the company. There's no doubt. He's the next big breakout star as far as I'm concerned. And I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. And I think 2015 will be also a breakout year for him as well. And if he does win that case, you're there first. I think he ends up winning the belts. I really do. It doesn't matter who it's against when he cashes it in. So give me Seth Rollins in this one. I do agree. So with that said, let's move on to the big one. This is it, the main event. The other Money in the Bank ladder match. This is for the vacated WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Alberto Del Rio versus Bray Wyatt versus Cesaro versus John Cena versus Kane versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns and versus Sheamus. There's no doubt about this. This is going to be the fight of the night. I mean, I expect this to get a lot of time. I'm expecting maybe 25 minutes at most, maybe even 30 if we're lucky. But this is going to be absolutely incredible. I mean, it's all about two things. It's about not one, but two. Two championship belts. Two gorgeous championship belts. Two championship belts that Fletcher would kill for and I would kill for if we were wrestlers, especially if we were in the same match. I mean, it's not about a contract, folks. Oh, no, it's not about no freaking briefcase. It's all about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Vacated by Daniel Bryan, who was stripped by the authority because of complications of Daniel Bryan's neck injury, which ended up being more severe than we thought, unfortunately. But, it is what it is. But originally, Kane was not scheduled to be in this match, but Kane was added to the match by Triple H at the end of Raw Monday night during that big brouhaha at the end. And wow, and now look at the field for this match. I mean, you look at the field for this match. You look at the field, and you got not one, not two, not three, but four. Half of the field are former Money in the Bank ladder match winners. Alberto Del Rio, 3 years ago, he won Money in the Bank, and he successfully cashed in at SummerSlam against CM Punk after he had that epic match with John Cena. He became WWE champion. John Cena, he won the contract 2 years ago, and made history by being the first man to cash in and not be successful for the championship. He challenged CM Punk at Raw 1000. He lost. Well, he won the match, but he won by disqualification. And of course, you can't win a title by DQ. Everyone knows that. It's either pinfall or submission. Kane, 2010, he won Money in the Bank, and not only that, he cashed in the same night on Rey Mysterio and won the World Heavyweight title. And he had a very good run with it. He held it for about 5 months before dropping it at TLC, in that 4-way TLC match to Edge. And then, of course, Fletcher's boy, the Viper, Randy Orton, 1 year ago. Not only did he win the Money in the Bank ladder match, but he created a humongous firestorm and angered a lot of fans in the IWC, myself included, as well as Michael Bullock, but brought a big old Cheshire cat-like grin to Michael Fletcher's face, as you can see right there, folks. Yeah. What did he do? Well, he created the biggest firestorm in WWE in a long time. He and Triple H, with an elaborate hoax, screwed over Daniel Bryan, cashed in Money in the Bank, and Randy Orton walked out of SummerSlam last year, the new WWE champion, much to the dismay of the Yes Movement. And that's pretty much how the whole Yes Movement started, right there. But don't worry, Daniel Bryan eventually would get his moment at WrestleMania, much to my delight, and of course, Bullock's delight as well. And if he were here, he would say that right now. So, oh man. So four former winners. You got some new blood in there. You got Bray Wyatt. You got Cesaro. You got Roman Reigns. Well, Sheamus has been in has been in a couple of these before, but I don't think Sheamus is going to win it. There's a rumor going around saying that they might have him and Bray Wyatt feud over the United States Heavyweight Championship. Now that would be interesting. That would bring prestige back to that title. Let's not kid ourselves. Cesaro, I don't know. I mean, I've heard some rumblings that he was a possible favorite to win. I mean, I would love to see him do it. I would love to see one of the new guys win, to be honest with you. Um, I don't think it's going to be Del Rio. I mean, I think Del Rio right now, I don't know if they have, I don't think they have anything that big in the plans for him right now, although he is a former champion. Um, I don't think it's going to be Kane. I mean, I know Flex had teased a scenario the other night on the forum where Kane could end up going over and then going up against Daniel Bryan at the Battleground next month. Maybe in that long-awaited buried alive match, and then Daniel Bryan gets the belts back. I mean, that would be great. I would love to see that, but I don't know. But here's the thing: there is a wild card in this. He may not be in this match, but you got to believe that this man is going to challenge whoever the champion is. Because I think whoever comes out of this match is going to hold the title going into SummerSlam, and that individual will have to face a certain individual who conquered a certain streak at WrestleMania. Who am I talking about? Well, the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. There's the wild card. He's going to be breathing down the neck of whoever walks out of this as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion going into SummerSlam. Uh, but to me, when all is said and done, I mean, it comes down, I'll say it like this. I got four possible favorites. 4, Cesaro. 3, Bray Wyatt. I mean, I think there's a great chance. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna back that up there. I don't think Bray Wyatt's the favorite. I'll put him down right around 5. I still got Cesaro at 4, but it comes down to 3 men. Of course, the 2 most obvious, John Cena and Randy Orton. And the dark horse for me, Roman Reigns. Watch that name. Remember that name, folks. I hear they're very high on his work, as they should be. I just don't think Roman Reigns is going to come out of this as the champion. I mean, it would be a great story if he did, but you heard it here first. I mean, Derek Pereira came up with a great scenario, and I'm going to buy it. I think he's going to win the Royal Rumble in 2015, and I think Roman Reigns is going to walk out of WrestleMania 31 as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. You heard it here first. So come March the 29th, 2015, in Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California, Roman Reigns is going to be the champion. He's going to get his Daniel Bryan moment like Daniel Bryan did this year in New Orleans. But for right now, I know the IWC is not going to be thrilled about this, but at the end of the day, it's got to be the Golden Boy. It's got to be John Cena. I'm gonna say it right now. The winner of the match and the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, much to the dismay of the IWC, it's going to be the Golden Boy. It's got to be John Cena. He hasn't had a run with it in a while. I mean, he had a great program with Bray Wyatt, but I think it's now time that they put the straps back on the champ. And come Monday night, you're going to hear those dreaded words one more time, folks. The champ is here. And of course, get ready for those memes tomorrow night on Meme Gene. The Super Cena memes are going to be there. You know they're going to be in full force. All 5 and 6-year-olds of the world, you all can sleep easy tonight because your hero is champion again. So, give me John Cena to win this match. Although I wouldn't be surprised if Orton won. I wouldn't be surprised if Reigns won. But to me, it's got to be John Cena because I think they're setting up for a Cena Lesnar storyline at SummerSlam. And if that's the case, Lesnar gets it back. Because remember, Extreme Rules 2012, Lesnar and Cena went at it. Cena went over. A lot of fans were pissed about that. They do it again, you know Lesnar's going over. He's got to this time. And if that's the case, Lesnar's walking out of SummerSlam with the belts. So with that said, John Cena is my choice. As much as I don't want it, as much as I hate it, I have to be honest. I got to be fair. It's got to be Cena. So I would love to see Roman Reigns or Cesaro win it myself, or Bray Wyatt. Any of the newbies, because you know how I am about fresh faces in the main event scene. So as long as it's a fresh face, I'm happy. But if it's one of the usuals, which I think it's going to be, not so much. All right, Mikey, you've had some time to think. Who's walking out with those 2 beautiful belts and why?
This is tough. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see. You know, you brought up a lot of compelling arguments. I think, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be Roman Reigns. I'm sorry. I think Triple H is going to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. He's going to screw Roman Reigns over. And I actually hear rumors about maybe a Triple H Roman Reigns showdown at SummerSlam in LA. So that'll take him out. Anybody who thinks that Del Rio or Sheamus is gonna win it, yeah, right. Not a chance in hell. So count them out. Um, so now that leaves Orton, Bray Wyatt, John Cena, and Cesaro. Well, the problem is this. As far as Bray Wyatt goes, like you said, you just alluded to it, Anthony, that there might be a situation where he might have to fight with Sheamus for the United States title. So, unfortunately, for all you Bray Wyatt fans, follow the Buzzards. Yeah, you're not going to be following him all the way to the WWE World Heavyweight title. So, I don't think that's going to happen. So, now we're down to three. As much as I would love to see Randy Orton win the title. I don't think it's going to happen. I just think this time around, it's not his moment. It's not his time. He's not going to do it. So that leads us down to John Cena and Cesaro. What was the one thing that Paul Heyman said? That he is the manager of champions. That he can bring his clients to the promised land. Think about this, Anthony. Every Paul Heyman guy in his under his tutelage up to this point has all ended up being world champions. RVD was not only the WWE champion but the ECW champion at one time. CM Punk, the longest running WWE champion of all time. Oh well, for almost a full year. Then you had Brock Lesnar, who was a former WWE champion, a multi-time champion. Whatever Paul Heyman does, he turns when he grabs a Paul Heyman guy, those guys has ended up cashing in and winning gold. If you remember, Curtis Axel was a Paul Heyman guy, and he ran with the Intercontinental Heavyweight title for a little bit, for a few months. So, and plus on top of that, with the looming possibility that Rusev and Cena could happen, I could see Rusev coming into this fight and screwing the Golden Boy, John Cena, out of the WWE Championship. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am going out of the box and I am saying the King of Swing, Antonio Cesaro, will grab the two belts and he will become the undisputed World Wrestling Entertainment Heavyweight Champion when this is all said and done tomorrow night in Boston, Massachusetts. Cesaro walks out champion.
Wow, now how do you follow that? My goodness, I mean, Cesaro wins that thing. You know the IWC is going to go. They're going to go mark crazy. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, I would go crazy as well. I mean, and I know you would too. But yeah. So that's our thoughts on the matches. Of course, you know we used to do buy or no buy, but let's face it. I mean, no, what pay-per-view providers are carrying this thing? I mean, except for Fletcher's Cox Communications, which we all know. But we got a little thing here. It's called the WWE Network. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I mean, it's only $10 a month. I mean, it's a godsend. Let's not kid ourselves. I mean, it's a major money saver. Let's not kid ourselves. So, final. So, what we're gonna do here before we wrap it up, real quick, Fletch, your overall thoughts on the pay-per-view? What do you think? Do you think this is gonna be? You think it's gonna be a great pay-per-view, or good, or what?
You know what? I kind of feel like this is going to be a 50-50 pay-per-view. I think that, especially once we get later into the pay-per-view, when you got the Divas fight, when you got the two Money in the Bank ladder matches, one for the championship, one for the contract, I think those two fights are going to really solidify the card itself. I mean, it looks like a promising card, but remember, there's a lot of pitfalls here. Rusev and Big E, Summer Rae versus Layla with Fandango as the referee. Like those matches right there, you're already thinking, catastrophe. You're not thinking very much anything good. The tag team title fight, that looks really promising. Ryback versus Goldust and Stardust. Yeah, I mean, if it's booked correctly, maybe that turns out to be, a decent fight. But to me, I could see this being maybe, hopefully, a 6 out of 7 in the rankings, but I just don't know. If it's booked correctly, I think it'll be a good pay per view. But that's the thing. If it's booked correctly, Boston has been notorious to be a very good wrestling city for the WWE, and WWE has always rewarded Boston with a very good show. I mean, Boston's one of those cities where you can get good wrestling. Providence, New York, anytime they do those shows, they're always really good. I hope that WWE continues that trend. We'll wait and see tomorrow night. I mean, the sky's the limit, and I'm very, very, very anxious to see what they do. My rating right now, I'm predicting a 6 to a 7, but I'm hoping that I am wrong and that it's higher than that. But we'll wait and see going into tomorrow night.
Yeah, and Money in the Bank over the years have, I mean, since the pay-per-view, since they came up with the pay-per-view concept in 2010, I mean, 3 of these 4 events have been very good. I mean, 2010 was for me definitely an 8 out of 10 if you saw that pay-per-view. I mean, both of those Money in the Bank matches were incredible. Not kid ourselves, and then especially more on the SmackDown side. And then you had a solid undercard as well in 2010. Then 2011, well, of course, that's enough said because that 2011, of course, one of the greatest PG era pay-per-views of all time, if not the greatest. But no, it's not the greatest because remember WrestleMania 30. I mean, WrestleMania 30 just blew us out of the water. But Money in the Bank in 11, of course, 9.25 out of 10. Not only because of both Money in the Bank ladder matches, you also had Randy Orton and Christian as well. And then, of course, who could forget the epic match with CM Punk and John Cena? What many are calling perhaps the greatest WWE title match of all time. That's not kidding ourselves. That was 5 stars and beyond. 2012, they had a bit of a rough stretch. I mean, 2012 was an okay event, not really all that great. That was like a 6.5 to 7 out of 10 at best. Although the SmackDown Money in the Bank match was better. And then you had CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. Who could ever forget that hardcore match they had with AJ Lee? And then the rest of the matches were just pretty much filler and that. And then last year you had 2 great Money in the Bank ladder matches from SmackDown and Raw. Of course, the Raw match was far and away better. And that was the one Randy Orton won, all that drama with CM Punk and Heyman. And then Cena and Henry for the title, and then Del Rio and Ziggler had a great world title match. So, and as far as the card goes this year, both Money in the Bank matches are going to be great. I agree. I think the WWE the world title match is going to be better, in my opinion. Although I think the contract match is going to be a spot fest. I care ourselves all out the X Division TNA. Tag team title match I think could be one of the better tag title matches in a long time. Same thing for the Divas title. And then you got 3 filler matches with Summer and Layla. Ryback and Goldust and Stardust. That's going to be a match fight as well. And Rusev and Big E as well. And then, of course, don't forget the pre-show. Daniel Bryan, he's going to be on that. And you got to believe he's going to announce his intentions of coming back. He's going to announce that he's medically cleared. That's what I think. I know Fletcher will agree with me on that. So I'm thinking maybe 7 to 7.5. We'll have to wait and see. I would love to be wrong as well. I mean, remember, Payback was awesome. So, and ever since they've gone to the WWE Network, I mean, I'll say it like this: Rumble was good, not overly great. I mean, 2013 was freaking incredible. 2014 was okay, I guess. And then Elimination Chamber was solid. I mean, that Elimination Chamber match was freaking awesome to say the least, in my opinion. I mean, I'm probably the only one who gave it 5 stars. And then Mania, enough said on that. First ever perfect 10 in Wrestling Forum history. That's how damn good it was. And then let me see, Extreme Rules, that was a solid show. And then Payback, of course. An 8.5 to 9 out of 10. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm thinking 7, 7.5. I'm hoping that it's that. I'm hoping for like 8 to 9 myself. So I'm definitely looking forward to this pay-per-view, no doubt about it. So all right, that's going to do it. So of course, thank you very much for tuning in as always. And yeah, so we're of course, don't forget tomorrow night, Jared Ferreira. He's going to be at the pay-per-view. He's going to be in Boston for Money in the Bank. Michael Bullock will not be joining us because he's on his family vacation. Don't forget. So it'll be, the 2 dudes with attitudes here one more time, Michael Fletcher and myself, tomorrow night. Of course, we're going to be switching over. It's going to be on Fletcher's channel this time around, Braceman 95. As you all know, he hosts our recap shows. So, and here's the thing, he's going to be we're both going to be able to watch the pay-per-view. So you're going to get, you're not going to just get thoughts from just me. Oh no, you're going to get thoughts from both of us. So definitely looking forward to that. So 11 o'clock tomorrow night, Splendid Brace Fair 95 channel, Money in the Bank pay-per-view recap. We'll have our complete thoughts about that. Not sure about the forum Monday night. I don't know what the plan is right now, but we'll figure something out, I'm sure. So that's going to do it for us. So until tomorrow night for our Money in the Bank preview, our Money in the Bank recap on Splendid Brace Fair 95 channel, you've been watching the Money in the Bank preview right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. For the Cerebral Viper Michael Fletcher, I am ridiculously over Anthony Floro, saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Have a great rest of the night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow night for our Money in the Bank preview recap. So until then, you've been watching the WWE Money in the Bank 2014 pay-per-view preview right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. Bye for now, my friends, and God bless and be good.